Jesus Christ, Jashy, that's horrifying. What have you been saying? My God, they're people, Jashy. What's wrong with you? Disgusting. God, get on with the... Gee. Right, I don't want it. It's disgusting.
Shut up. Hello, I'm Jash, and this is this week's edition of Jash Talks, and joining me today is...
Omar. I'm just a man. I'm just a man.
Yeah. You go, girl.
Alright. Alright, move on, come on.
Okay. Anyways, the first bit up today to discuss on this week's episode is Matt Smith has been confirmed to be in the upcoming Terminator reboot. Right now it's called...
Yes! Yes! Matt Smith! Yes! Go on.
Okay. So, we don't yet know what his character is going to be. All we know is that his character is going to be close to John Connor. That's all that we know, but who the fuck cares, because 11 is in the Terminator movie. Do you want to get some of your enthusiasm out, Avexle?
Excuse me. I'm Broseph. It's a rat speech. It's a rat speech. Not Capaldi. He's fucked off somewhere else. It's Matt Smith. I'm happy, boy. I appear to have gone down, Doctor. Right, point is, I'm happy about this. It's good. He's a good actor, and he's awesome, and he's a doctor, and I want to see more of him everywhere, in every show, whatever. I want him in Batman, I want him in Superman, I want him in Spider-Man, I want him in Terminator, I want him in everything. I want Matt Smith in me.
Myself, I'm not too happy about the upcoming Terminator movie. I just have really, really bad feelings about it. I've made a blog post on my blog about my feelings of Matt Smith being cast. I am really
good, right?
Yeah, I am happy that he's going to be in it because, for one, I'd like to see what he does outside of Doctor Who. But on the other hand, I'm not looking forward to this movie, and I don't want the first thing he does out of the gate to be a good part in a bad movie.
He's in Terminator. Now he's done that, he's clearly set. Even if it's shit, he's going to get loads of jobs. To be fair, though, he's a brilliant actor. Frankly, if they concentrate enough on him, that movie's going places. Make him the next Terminator. Make him the next Terminator! He has a gigantic chin, right? So if they made him muscly with that gigantic chin, he could be the Chininator. The human chin. No, the Terminator chin.
Yeah, Terminator chin.
He's not terminating, he's termination.
I hate you British people sometimes. But,
you know what that is?
What is it?
It's the sound of Matt Smith being Terminator Genesis. Yeah,
it's like, I am happy. I mean, this casting choice is going to make me more excited to go into the theater seats because I am a Terminator fan and a reviewer. So, of course, I'm going to have to watch it, but now I'm sort of more happy to get in to pay money to see it.
And a human being. And frankly, just as a human being, I have to say it because it's fucking Matt Smith, the Doctor. And as a Doctor Who fan, well, frankly, not seeing it would have my genitals cut off. So I must see it. It's genetic. It's DNA. It's Lord Almighty. It's destiny. It must happen. Was that a sarcastic button click? Was that why you mean? Shut up! You make a joke then instead. Damn it!
I mean, sorry, I'm very professional.
Yeah, professional mob black ass.
Yeah. So, Avexle, what do you think of...
Corrosive, man!
What do you think of the Terminator reboot as a whole, you know, not counting, you know, just Matt Smith?
Oh, very, very good with it. Frankly, it can't be worse than Terminator Salvation, and I thought Terminator Salvation was alright. So, you know, go on with it. And frankly, apparently it's going back to Terminator 2 style, vis-a-vis big bad guy chasing other people. And I like that. I like that idea. Ah, figured it out! Arnold Schwarzenegger is bad guy. Matt Smith is new good guy. Possibly the new Terminator who's on the good guy side. Who knows? Maybe just a resistance soldier. Matt Smith's son! Oh, he's John Connor's son.
Well, but anything's a possibility at this point. I don't really know about Matt Smith.
No. Shush, shut up, Jackie. Listen, what's happening? I'm saying this right now. Proclamation. Okay? Matt Smith will play John Connor's future son. His existence will be put in peril by coming back to save John Connor. I guarantee it.
Well,
the end will have him disappearing because he has saved John Connor. It will be emotional, and it will then flash forward to a scene of John Connor's first child being born, and he will instantly name him whatever Matt Smith was called in the movie. But in this situation, just for easy purposes, I'm going to make it so he calls him the Doctor.
Well, we do already know that Kyle is going to go back in time to save Sarah Connor, and there's going to be at least one time jump that the pair do.
You know there'll be 2. Even 3. There'll be 4. You know what this is? This isn't Terminator anymore. This is a time travel movie. This is Inception with time.
Well, I think they do have... Starting with Terminator Genesis, I think there's going to be 2 sequels. So.
I hope so.
Oh, I really do hope Terminator Genesis doesn't suck. I really think it will suck, but I don't want it to. Especially, it has Matt Smith. And Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones is the new Sarah Connor.
You're joking.
No, I'm not fucking shitting you.
But she looks younger than I do. When did she have John Connor? Was she just born clean out of her mother's vagina and suddenly John Connor?
No,
boom.
It's not going to...
like a turducken, like a turkey inside of a duck. Was it like a woman inside her mother with a child called John Connor inside her? Is John Connor a midget? Is that how it works? I don't mean midget as in dwarf. I mean midget as in atomic, probably. How small do you have to be? Oh God, I don't want to think about that. Yeah. Locked on an unpleasant train of thought right there. God. Right, move on. Move the conversation on, damn it. You're the host. Do your job.
Okay. After we're done with that, the mother of dragons is going to be the mother of destiny. Continuing on.
Pause. Quick thing. Game of Thrones, Mother of Dragons. Has no one yet made a joke about the fact that she fucked dragons? Because I know she didn't. But you know Game of Thrones is the type of universe where they'd say, Mother of Dragons, all she did was fuck a dragon. You know what I mean? I reckon that needs to happen. It's just a small thing, but it needs to happen.
Okay.
Do you reckon
you
a dragon comes as a city?
Dragon?
No, God, no. I want someone to make a joke about it because she's the Mother of Dragons. Why has no one done that? It's like an obvious joke. Yo, Mother of Dragons, how was that dragon dick? What? You know?
You could start making those jokes.
Well, I'm trying, but I'm just a man. I can only use so much.
True.
Wow, chicka wow wow. That didn't make any sense being there, but I feel like I needed to say it.
Yeah.
Well, once again, I feel like that's sarcastic. You make the jokes, huh? Come on then, make it funny. I don't like you.
No one does, and yet people keep on being my friends. I don't know.
I blame black magic.
Well, we don't have to bring that part up. No, we could save that till later. There still needs to be some air of mystery.
Alright then. Right, moving on, next topic.
Okay.
Oh wait, have you got more to say about Genesis?
Do you have anything more to say about Genesis? I
Can't wait to see how to deal with Schwarzenegger's man-tits. That's it, really.
Okay. Schwarzenegger's man-tits.
I feel like this is the only sound appropriate for that face you just made. It was...
Okay, next topic is Hannibal, the show on NBC, it's one of these great shows that, everyone loves, and, you talk to anyone and they're like, this is a great fucking show. And yet, the same as the end of last season, the end of this season is coming up and it's possibly going to be canceled.
I think I know why. There aren't enough viewers. Simple fact is, there are only a certain amount of people in the world, and only a certain amount of people capable of watching a certain amount of shows at the same time. I used to only be able to watch really like 1 or 2 shows, keep up with them every week. I've grown better at doing it as time goes by, and I can keep up with more of them. But no matter what happens, I normally have a limit of about 4. Even 3 is a bit hard. If I go over that, I can't stay invested in them. Right now, I've got Game of Thrones, Arrow, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know what I mean? And if something else pops up, one of them gets dropped. When Sherlock's about, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D's out the window. You know what I mean? And I think people now have too many shows to watch. I think most people and I think most people normally have like 1 or 2 at best. Most, I would reckon, have 1, and that's Game of Thrones right now. People are watching Game of Thrones and don't have time for Hannibal. You can only take so much darkness in the world. You know what I mean? Game of Thrones shoves it in your face. Rape, evil, and death is abound in that. Right? Who the fuck can stop watching that and then go to Hannibal? You'll kill yourself. Not to mention you need the kind of, like I said, the kind of attention span to watch them both, and people just don't have that.
Oh.
1 show for most people, too dark for most people. There we go. After Game of Thrones over, for example, I don't instantly think, now I'll watch some Hannibal. I think, do you know what? I feel just a bit icky inside. I'm going to watch Bugs Bunny. You know what I mean? And then I watch it and I feel happy inside. And I imagine most people are like that. That's my theory anyway. It's probably wrong.
Well, people aren't usually like me that can, watch a bunch of shows, and even now, like, I watch Continuum, and I'm lagging behind a few episodes.
There you go.
But the problem is the DVR, and it comes on at the same time as Hannibal, so I could only DVR one or the other. But yeah, people watch multiple shows, and they can't always keep up, because I know some people are like, hey, I'm watching like 5 or 6 shows at the moment, and I can't, have time to watch Hannibal.
I use Sidereal as a calendar to tell me when the show's coming out, because I can't keep up. I can't. It's too much. I need someone else to tell me what I'm meant to be watching today, you know what I mean? Most of the time I miss it. I have like 78 episodes of various TV shows that I haven't watched, and frankly, several of them I've just given up on. Hannibal, by the way, is one of them. That's why I think that, because Hannibal has fallen victim to my can't watch it too much already.
Okay, but last episode there was removing all the weirdness, and once I tell you this, you'll think that's this already 2 levels above too weird. But trust me, it gets much more weirder and complicated once you watch the episode. 5-person sex scene.
I'm Googling that.
It's a mind fuck. It's like, but Hannibal...
Oh, it's a something fuck, apparently.
That's like, but yeah, Hannibal does go weird, but it still has, well, a certain type of heart to it. It's not just about showing, you know, the gore or cannibalism. It's actually showing characters and depth, and there's symbolism, and just the shooting's great.
Like
But
I
a
said,
lot of
there's so much. There's so much going on TV now that you need to be more than good. You need to be more than symbolistic. You need to be remarkable. You know what I mean? Like, you basically have two kinds of shows like alive nowadays. You have the fucking brilliant shows. You know, like the holy Jesus, this show is remarkable. You like shows, essentially shows like Doctor Who, like Sherlock, like Game of Thrones. These are shows so very good that when they're out, you watch them. And then there are shows that are kind of little long term. Shows people have been watching for a while that they like. I have a few. Supernatural, for example. You know what I mean? These are shows that go on for a while that you just quite like. You know what I mean? And then people make time for that. And then you have shows like Hannibal, which aren't as good as Sherlock or Game of Thrones. They're damn good, but they're not. And then don't have the same kind of familiarity that certain shows like Supernatural have. They're in between. You know what I mean? And given the choice, most people will either choose to go to the familiar or the great. And Hannibal, being in between, gets left to the wayside.
I consider Hannibal great, but I consider that people just see cannibalism and gore and don't actually, and they just think that's what, you know, Hannibal the whole show is.
No, but because I don't think that's the reason.
And so then they don't watch it. They just think, oh, it's crap.
No, because that wouldn't work. Because I mean, think about it, Game of Thrones. Okay, most people who watch Game of Thrones are about 30 or above, right? Now I'll ask you this, right? In that generation, how many of them thought Dungeons and Dragons was nerdy? You know what I mean? They're not. It's not a generation dedicated to that kind of thing. On top of that, Dexter, gory as fuck, but people loved it.
I'm going to use my dad as a little test subject here. He'll watch Game of Thrones. I just put on the pilot. I was finally able to make him watch the pilot of Hannibal. Didn't show any interest at all. Didn't want to watch any other episode of Hannibal after that.
There you go. And also, I think maybe there's a different.
And he liked the.
I haven't seen it, but I can only.
He liked the Hannibal books and the Hannibal movies.
But those are self-contained. You can watch them in a sitting. They don't count. But okay, look, TV thing. I'm just assuming this because I haven't seen enough of it to know. But is Hannibal very much character-based? Like, is there? I would imagine that. Is there much plot to it? Like, as in, is it more about this is a character and what happens with him that we care about?
Well, it is character-based. That's why you end up, you know, going back week after week, not just to see what horror happens, but how is Will doing? How is Jack doing? What fucked up is Hannibal doing?
I think, in general, people, though they like that, I think people like a lot of plot as well. Like in Game of Thrones, we love the characters, you know what I mean? At the same time, shit's going on around the world outside of them that makes us want to watch. For example, spoilers, I love Daenerys. She's awesome, okay? But I don't just want to see what happens. I don't want to have an entire episode dedicated to her chatting around a table. I want to see what she does with her dragon's text, you know what I mean? And I don't know if there's no overarching plot like that. No kind of big thing going on. I think people like big things. I think we want some big conclusion. Like, in fact, if you think about it, the end of every thing I've watched lately has a build-up to something big and awesome that happens. Like, Arrow in the first season. Spoilers once again. Have you seen it?
Don't worry about spoiling Arrow for me.
Why?
I might not watch it for a while or ever.
Okay. I should point out it's the best superhero TV show ever. Better than I think The Dark Knight Rises and all. One of the best TV shows superhero things ever, frankly. Anyway, moving on. End of the first episode. I'm not gonna say it. A thing happens that's horrifying. You know what I mean? It's massive repercussions, right? It's not like one of those things like, ooh, bad guys here again. People die, and it's incredible. It's like, motherfucker, what happened there? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that happens a lot at Sherlock. At the end of that, a big thing happened. People who know Sherlock know what I'm on about. Doctor Who, big shit always happens. You know what I mean? Game of Thrones, literally wars are fought. You know what I mean? And I get a feeling that people now, because of that, and a combination of other things, just aren't okay with the fact that at the end of the episode, a guy got eaten. You know what I mean? It's like,
No, there is.
I guess it's kind of disgusting, but. I want to go back to that guy who got his dick chopped off. That's horrifying.
Oh, I think I just saw that scene. That was like, I don't know if other guys get their dicks chopped off on Game of Thrones, but the guy whose was, captured, and then he thought he
Greyjoy.
escaped.
That
And
fucker
then
deserved
that
every
was
minute
like
of
the
it.
most horrifying shit, just because.
Man, you don't have a dick. You don't know what it's like. Look, I
No,
hate
no,
that guy. He's one of the most bastard. He's the second most bastard guy in the goddamn place. But when he got his dick chopped off, I think every man in the world just kind of sat down and was like, "I weep with you, my brother. You don't deserve that."
I,
It's
ju- I
like
was,
like a hive mind. Like men in the world united for a moment. There was like humanity as a whole went to utopian society levels. It was like we all felt criminals in jail, murderers who chop people's heads off, right? Cartel members, Taliban, you know what I mean? High government officials, all of them at that moment were one, and we just looked at me like, you don't deserve that. We're sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry, creature.
I didn't, of course, know what getting your dick chopped off felt like, but it's just the fact of how he's being tortured.
Horrifying.
That's right now for me. That's like for those wondering, watching, I haven't caught all the way up yet. But for me right now, that is the most horrifying plot line, like what he's going through of like escaping, but then being tortured again, and that's
Oh,
like
that was horrible. I hated that. The freedom they gave him and then just fucked him up.
then after that, everything with him and it, like his plot, I was like, I can't do this. I
It
can
hurts
watch
you.
a child get murdered in fiction easier than I can watch what's happening to him on
But
Game of
that's
Thrones.
because it's realistic. They're kind of they're always it's almost like it's not realistic. It's not like it happens a lot, but it's like they're documenting it in such a way that you feel it. You know what I mean? Like normally when they do a death of a kid, it's like a kid's died. Oh, they never do it on an actual kind of this person felt pain. The bullet crushed through them. Many ribs were broken. It was a horrifying, slow, and agonizing death. You know what I mean? Where it normally it's like, kid dead. Eating someone. Can I just say, does Hannibal have shit like that?
Well,
Has there ever been a moment in Hannibal where you have just felt someone's pain like that?
there's been a lot of fucked up shit
But
deaths.
have you felt the pain? Basically, what I'm saying is this: in the fucked up shit that happened in Hannibal, are you like, I feel bad for this person, you feel it, or are you just like, oh, that's fucked up?
I was like, what Will was experiencing last season about his sanity going away, of like at the end of the season 1 finale, he's basically a few moments, like if he was given maybe a minute or two, he could have shot Hannibal, killed or captured or whatever. I won't spoil who exactly shoots him, but someone shoots him, and I was screaming at the television.
But I understand that might be bad, but come on, was it as bad as what happened to fucking Greyjoy there?
There, no, there's.
There we go. There's no competition to what happened there. The single most horrifying thing ever documented on television. And I guarantee Game of Thrones is going to whip it out even more. Tell me something now. Do you understand why Hannibal's not working then? It's good, but it's not
Well,
Game of
the
Thrones.
thing
The
with
people are Game of Thrones now, you know?
Game of Thrones is HBO. It has shitload more backing it, than a show like NBC. Like if,
But that's the thing.
hey,
That doesn't matter. It
listen,
doesn't matter. People don't
no,
care. It's like,
no,
I don't care what team it is. I don't care. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Avexle. If Hannibal was like on at HBO, it could do so much more. I mean, it's doing great for what it's allowed to show.
I know, but
But
you
if
got
it
to
was
realize
like
here, it
completely
is what it is. You
unedited,
can't judge something by what it could be, but by what it is.
yeah. But
Good,
my thing
but
is,
not good enough.
you can't compare an HBO show
You
and
can, no,
a
you can
show
though.
on
You
HBO
can.
like
That's the
NBC.
problem. People don't realize.
Just
I
because
don't. Okay, when
a
I
show,
know what you mean. Technically, if I'm being fair,
it's
I
not
disagree
fair
with
to
you.
compare the two. Just because
But it doesn't
one,
matter. It doesn't. As a human being, I could care less. I like this show better. I could care what network it's on. I don't care how much money they're getting. This one's better. I'm watching this one.
no,
That's fine.
okay. It might be okay, better, whatever. But the thing is, Game of Thrones one has a HBO always tends to have a bigger budget. Two, it can show and do more than a show like any show on NBC or Fox. Like, they can show and do so much more on Game of Thrones.
It's true, but
Because
that
it's on
doesn't matter.
HBO. So you can't. So if you want to say I prefer this show over the other, that's okay. But if you're really going to really compare the two, you have to look at the limitations of where each one's airing.
But the problem is, that doesn't change how it is. That's like saying this movie would have been better if these guys made it. Maybe it would have, but they're still making it. It's still the way it is. It doesn't change anything. It's a what-if scenario, and it means nothing.
Well, if you're going to go on, oh, this, it's Game of Thrones is good. There's budgets, there's everything one network can do that another can't. And if people are going to turn to Game of Thrones, fine, because people can watch two shows at once. Because Hannibal airs on Fridays, and I believe Game of Thrones, at least what I see on my Twitter and Tumblr feed, airs on Sunday.
Maybe.
And then not all people can buy HBO, and there's some people actually wait till the end of the seasons of whatever the show they watch to get it on Netflix and watch it all at once.
But yeah, I don't know. Basically, all I'm saying is that in the way that it's in the type of view it's trying to attract, it fails at doing as good as some other shows. Regardless of the problems, it does fail at being as good as some other shows. And then when you come up with that, with the fact that there's so many good shows to watch, and it's, I would argue, quite hard to get into, it kind of works against it. It's a good show, but it's had a lot of bad luck. Frankly, if it came out before Game of Thrones, it'd probably be doing better. And if it had a better time slot, it'd probably be doing better. And a different place, it'd probably be doing better. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it doesn't. And it's probably because of that. It will get renewed, though, I guarantee it. They'll keep it going.
I do fear, though, because I fear that the moment that I go, okay, this is a certain thing, it's going to get cancelled.
I'll tell you one thing I am, this is probably stupid, but I'm quite hoping that the other networks start to copy Game of Thrones. Be like, ooh, people like this, let's do more like this.
Yeah, I do hope that, yeah, they do get more, they do start to air things more like Game of Thrones, but again, budget, and they can get the budget that's good, but then places like NBC, they have to, there's certain things they can show, like on the Hannibal Season 1 Blu-rays, they had a bunch, like a good majority of the episodes unedited, so they're different. They could show things like they wanted on the Blu-ray, but they couldn't actually air it that way. So that whole censoring thing is always going to be a little bit of a hang-up, but shows like a Hannibal and American Horror Story sort of help to push those envelopes.
But I don't know. I think that's all I got for this thing. I don't know. Anything else?
Sorry, I yelled at you.
You yelled at me?
I think. I'm not sure. I was talking while you were talking.
Oh, hell no! Those fighting words, I think. I didn't hear them, apparently. Those fighting words.
I'm sorry, I can get really I like try to control any nerd rage I have. Then that's why I like, typing things up. I don't really like talking to people because I usually like to remain silent if I feel any nerd rage and I can't edit anything.
I just let shit loose. I was like, right, let's go then. Do you want to fuck with me? We're fucking with me then. You think Batman's better than Superman? Bitch boy, it's time to play. Right, next topic.
Okay. The final topic before announcements is Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Fuck off, why did you get rid of it? Fuck off, you fucking fucks. Fuck you, fuck your children, fuck your wives. I will fuck your wives, by the way. I'll probably fuck you and all just to make damn sure you know how I feel. And apparently that's you as well. And you.
You're not touching me.
What?
Were we still going about the fucking thing? Because I played a sound and it overrode your voice.
What? The viewers who are watching this know what just happened. And they just did. I mean, just sitting there like, "What's she on about? What are you on about, woman?"
And now
Damn.
I left.
I was asking, what about you? Not, "Whoa, I'm gonna fuck you and all." Jesus, you got nothing to do with the show, do you? Because if you do, then I'm afraid you're up for it and all.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I'm also.
Thought so. You better not have anything to do with it. I'm warning. If you're watching this and you got anything to do with it, I'm coming for you.
Anyways, I'm pissed off that Fox just seems to get these good sci-fi shows. It's like Firefly and Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles, and Almost Human, and then it's like, oh, we have gold in our hands, let's throw it away. And like Terminator, Sarah Connor Chronicles, it had a lot going for it. Lena Headey was great as Sarah Connor. Brian Austin Green was totally hot as Derek Reese, and the season 2 cliffhanger.
They don't know what they're doing. I've come to that conclusion. They don't know what they're doing. But if I had to guess why they did it, I'd imagine that the costs were extraordinary. That's my only thought. That, and apparently having Googled it a lot, because I was a bit too young to having known directly about this when it was happening, but apparently the viewership didn't care, which pissed me off. Essentially, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles falls into the same niche as Hannibal does. It's damn good, but apparently fell victim to not being good enough and or familiar enough to the audience.
I think also there's just some things that are good, but a lot of people don't care about for whatever reason. What makes it the most annoying is
Game of Thrones will have been that. For some reason, the world was ready for it, and it didn't become that. But Game of Thrones could have been that. Could have been the show that was brilliant, but no one was ready for. But people were ready for it. People wanted that shit, and therefore it got big. Finally, Terminator Chronicles, whatever it's called, they just weren't ready for it. Apparently.
You're not. You don't speak English, do you?
What are you on about? Don't speak English. Fuck off with your semi-English, you retarded kind of half-ass English. You American English. You don't mean nothing. Might as well be German. You mean more of this? Fucking with my language. Don't know what he's doing.
Oh, okay, but what really gets to me is when people go, "Oh, I wish there was better programming on TV. I wish there was this sort of programming." And when that programming comes into being,
They don't watch it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a bitch. But what can you do, man?
I could take an axe to their head, or neck, or balls.
Why do you instantly assume it's men, you feminist poo-poo?
I'm sorry.
Probably women, actually. Wasn't enough hot guys in the TV show to do them over. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what you're doing either.
Why? What's so you?
It's like Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles it had bad moments, but mostly it was just fucking awesome to see what would happen each week.
If I had one problem with that TV show, awesome, she was awesome. If I had one problem with the TV show, it'd be that Lena Headey, the mother,
yeah,
and the son. First of all, they were too close in age, I think. I feel like she could have been like 10 years old when she had him, and we know she wasn't. Secondly, it felt a bit less like a mother-daughter or mother-son relationship than it did kind of a older woman, kind of man-boy slave relationship.
There was. I have a friend who.
It's odd.
Who ships future John and Sarah Connor together. But I don't mind it, I don't mind it at all. But the thing is that Sarah Connors has to be a mother and to train her son for the upcoming war.
Apparently that guy thinks that she can train him to bang her.
No, it's more, trust me, I can't, trust me, it's...
Fucked up?
No, it's not really fucked up. It does make a lot of sense once he explains it. But
Well,
it's not like what
therefore
you're
they must
thinking.
bang. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. It makes incest.
Yeah, it's incest, yeah. What's wrong with incest?
Apart from being socially, culturally, and genetically bad?
Well,
In every possible way.
I don't mind shipping incest, and I don't mind incest in fiction.
Have you got something to tell me?
It's just incest in real life I have a problem with, but fictionally, it's not real, it's not actually happening, so who gives a fuck?
I suppose. To be fair, I've gotten a bit easier on it and all, but just because of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Used to be...
Frankly, after seeing Jamie and Cersei bang so many times and at one point get raped, I don't know. Is there anything that can shock me anymore? I don't think so. Just stay the fuck away from Arya. Arya and Sansa. As long as Arya and Sansa aren't raped, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
If that happens though, I'm out. I can't stand the show anymore. That's it. That will be it for me. I could not handle it after that. It'd be too dark. That's the moral event horizon for the show. Don't do that.
Oh God, I think they've. I just heard someone talking about the episode after the rape, how I guess Game of Thrones tried to play it like it never actually happened.
Well, that's what I said. I told you before, and I think basically, apparently it never happened in the book, therefore it's going to have absolutely no effect. It's just going to continue on as it would have anyway. Might as well not have happened. In the books it happened, but it was consensual, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it wasn't rape.
You know, exactly. So essentially everything that happens afterwards matters little. No difference.
Yeah, but it's just like really, really shows something if you're like, it seems like the showrunners had an epiphany after everyone had an outburst over the rape. Like, oh, we should have done this, so never happened, never happened.
You know, I know I shouldn't be talking about hating Joffrey again, but I was thinking, right, Joffrey's such a fucking prick, right, that I was basically expecting him, as Jaime was banging Cersei, to kind of come back to life and cockblock him. Just to be the world's ultimate cockblock. Like, Jaime was just sitting there like, you fucking dick. You come back to life now? You pissant little bitch. You know what I mean? Literally, he dies just to come back as a cockblock. Then he dies again, I swear out. Yeah. He'll die again after that. Because that's the only purpose he came back, to piss him off. Fuck Joffrey.
You should really do your own series of videos of just you hating on Joffrey at random, like
episode 5, Joffrey's balls. Joffrey's balls are stinky. They sag, they smell, they're probably torn. I don't like them. I think we should sell them, but we never get much money for it. Fuck Joffrey. End episode. Episode 7, Joffrey's eyes. Joffrey's eyes are sharp, like a cat. Dangerous, ugly, nasty. Also, I plucked them out. Because fuck Joffrey. End of episode. Fuck Joffrey. Right. Well.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about Terminator: Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Yes. If they get the actor who did Joffrey in there, fuck them. Because fuck Joffrey. Actually, can I say, honestly, no. I'd be happy if they did that, because apparently that little shit is such a good actor, he made me hate that fuck more than anyone else I've ever hated before in my life. So I want him in there. Imagine him as the Terminator. He'd be the most hated Terminator in all history.
Okay, I don't know if, like, the Terminator fans could stand another hate, like the relationship between John and Riley, because that seemed to be like a bunch of, like, Jammer and shippers were just hating on the pair together. And so we don't need I think we need at least maybe a season or two before we introduce Joffrey to Terminator.
Yeah, maybe. Right. Anything else? Any
N-
delete finishes?
Nope. Is there any announcements you want to make?
Yes. Actually, there is one. I'm getting married tomorrow to my hand. So, if anyone wants to come in there and break up the arrangement, please do so. And you, sir.
What?
And you, sir.
I'm not a serf for one.
Well, I know that. It's just a thing people say, damn it.
Okay, I talked about this last time. I think the Now You See Me, Now I'm in You. Yeah. Now I see you, now I'm in you. Since I finished Mean Green Shaggy Machine, that should be coming out within the week. First chapter. And Avexle, what did you think of the final chapter for, Mean Green Shaggy Machine? Because I thought it was a little weak chapter myself.
Oh, it was alright. I mean, you got to recognize here, I'm not a writer. I'm not entirely sure how to explain it. I shall just... perhaps I need more time to think on it.
Okay. Let's see. Besides that, I had taken a break for the Shormlet Chronicles, my Animorphs Avengers crossover thingy. And that quote-unquote Season 2 should start maybe within a week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And finally, the next part of my Animorphs reread, where I start rereading Animorphs number 6, The Capture, which I remember being my favorite book in the entire series.
Yeah.
Yeah, those the first 4 chapters. My thoughts on the first 4 chapters should be coming out tomorrow or the next day.
All right then. So people, you have that to look forward to. Like one person who's watching this.
No, now they're not. It says 0 viewers.
Yay!
Yay! But of course, this is
such viewership, such fame.
Well, most of the views come in, like maybe the 4 or 5 views, come in, when people watch the show after it's aired.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Last.
If we're lucky, one of them stays for a couple of minutes.
What?
Nothing. There's a little bit of depression talking there.
It's like the last Jash Talks got 3 views.
So, me, you, someone else.
But the one before that, the one that you appeared in, first appeared in, that got maybe 6 to 9 views.
Hey! They like me!
And you wonder why I keep you around. Because I like you.
I'm worth about 3 or 4 views. That's my net value there.
Okay, so that's going to be it for this Jash Talks. Remember to, if you have any questions or topics you want me to cover next episode, comment.
Write it on your penis and send it in a picture.
Don't do that.
Do that. She told me to tell you guys to do that. She was too shy to say it yourself. Go, do it.
Just comment wherever you see this posted, and say what do you want me to answer or talk about. So we talk about stuff that you're actually interested in. And also on my Twitter at Jashikins, I'll usually announce what day and time the new Jash Talks will be to remind people to send in questions and topics, which they never do. I live such a poor life, and my blog is jashikins.blogspot.com. So, Yay, is there any last words, Avexle?
Um, vaginas look weird.
So does your ass and face. I can't tell the difference.
Okay, once again, I know I've said it before. Make fun of my ass, and I will literally pull my pants down and prove it's awesome. It's an awesome ass, okay? Or best, it's a 5 out of 5 ass, okay? Or best, it's sorry, not 5. Or best, it's 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 or best. I'm just saying, it's not that bad. You know, it's like it'll do, frankly. Okay, it'll do, right? It's better than yours.
And until next
Make fun of
time,
my ass.
goodbye.
Poo you.